When I started getting into jazz a couple of years ago, I remember being overwhelmed by the amount of information that you should learn. I mean, you go into a YouTube video and people would be like, yeah, learn this scale and do that and do this. What is it even that I should learn? Like how do I even approach jazz guitar? I was still in music school when I started getting into jazz. And we know what all the music teachers preach, right?
The way to improvise in the genre of jazz is to only, and I repeat only, learn all the scales known to mankind and apply it over chords and the chord changes. And yeah, you should also practice the scales running up and down, because that's the best thing to do. Yeah, that's the best thing to do, yeah.
If you listen to your music teachers, you're gonna end up like your music teachers. And let's be honest here, the music teachers can't really play. I have never liked how they play, and it's so weird for me to then listen to their preachings and do this to become better. But I don't want to play like you, motherfucker. And let's be honest, most of them can't really play that good. So why should we take advice from them then? The way I approach jazz, which I'm really grateful for, and I'm really happy that I didn't like approach jazz in a academic way of like, listen to your teachers, learn the scales, and like, oh, that's almost like taking jazz history and punching it. I don't know, it's the fucking... So the way I approached it was to just listen to the jazz that I love. Sounds weird, right? Nobody tells you this. Listen to the jazz that you love. Literally, instead of trying to play scales, listen deeply to the guys whom you think are great. Listen deeply to the guitarist that you love. Like, listen to that a lot. And I'll give you some tips on some jazz guitar albums later in this video. What will happen is you will start sounding like the guys that you listen to. Like, you will start phrase shit like them. People never talk about listening as important practice, just as important as playing. They just focus on playing, but like, bro, aren't you listening to this genre? If you want to play jazz, why aren't you listening to jazz? It's so, like, it's almost like 1 + 1 = 2, but it's just something that you don't take into account. Listen to me when I say this. Bro, start with listening to jazz, and then you play. Like, that should be how you think about it. So listen to jazz, and then play jazz. You're gonna be more interested. You're gonna be listening to that recording, and then you would go play and you would like think about that recording, and you would be like, oh shit, what did they do in that recording? And so you would be so much interested in what they did on that recording. Automatically it will give you great ears, and it will make you focused on the things that matters, which is the music and not the unmusical shit that they teach you. They're like, learn scales. No, bro, listen to the music you love, be interested in that music, and then you learn shit. So you're probably like, okay, but how should I be interested in jazz? Start going to jam sessions in your city and just listen. Just sit in the back and just listen. If you're comfortable, you can go up and play. I remember I wasn't comfortable enough to play for a while. I was just sitting and listening. I was like, shit, one day I'll be able to go up and improvise. That does so much for you. If you just go, you sit, you listen, and just go to jazz clubs, go to concerts, accumulate, try to take in as much as you can. That will make your brain understand what it is you're trying to learn here, right? And this is also something that will make you understand what you like, your identity in jazz. What is it that you like about it that's so special? Make it a goal for you to find your favorite guitarist. Like, make it a goal to find your favorite jazz guitarist. And then you listen to the things you love about him. So it doesn't have to be like, playing the whole album, just listen to the whole album and don't do anything else. Just find the songs that you like and just listen to them religiously. And then, when you have done that, go play your guitar and think about those songs and be interested in what that guy did. Start transcribing, start getting the licks under your fingers. Try to like see stuff that they do that's identical to them. This is like the actual interested part of it, which is beautiful. You will basically learn stuff from your favorite guitarist that will resonate with you, and it will make it to your sound because you're basically stealing the stuff that you like. And what happens then is you will learn shit and you're like wondering what it is they did. And then you can trace it to a scale. That's how you learn scales. You like track down the phrases people done to its scale. Then you will know how the scale even turned musical, right? Your thoughts should be on the jazz language, not on the scale. The jazz language already has all the scales. You're focusing on the language and then you think about the scale. So basically, instead of learning a scale from a book, you learn a phrase from a musician you love, and then you track it down to its scale. That will save you so much time of shit scale practicing that you've done before, like running a scale up and down. But now you just, okay, you transcribe a phrase, and then you see what scale it is, and then you can make it into your own and like start improvising with that concept. So in a weird way, that makes you better at what matters, and you save so much time in return. So it's like learning any language. When you were little and started speaking, it's because you were copying what your parents did, right? So it's not like you got an alphabet in front of you and you started like being like A, B, C, D. No, you were looking at your parents, so you were copying what they did, right? It was never about the alphabet. It was just about copying what other people have done. And then you track it down to the alphabet. So it's the same thing when you're learning a language. Because let's face it, it is a language we're learning. Jazz is a language. You should treat it exactly as any other language. These are some jazz guitar albums I recommend. We got Young Guns by Pat Martino, Something's Up, Doug Rainey, Earth Tones, Peter Bernstein. Listen to the shit you love. Become interested in it. Learn it on your instrument. And you'll actually have fun becoming better along the way. Link in bio for one-on-one lessons. Grab a lesson if you want to talk about how you can improve, and if you want me to explain a concept more, we'll talk about whatever you want, but the focus is on you becoming better. So I guess I'll see you in the next video then. Bye bye!